Sup guys, I'm in my dope space wagon, but it could use a spice up, you know? Could use a little bit more flavor. It's got chroma. So you're tired of Mario Kart, huh? Then allow me to introduce you to F-Zero. Today we're talking about Modnation Racers, a game that released on the PS3, and I played it when I was a little kid, so I have nostalgic feels about it, so you can't judge me! It's a kart racing game, but the twist is, you get to make your own karts and characters and tracks, isn't that fun? We'll talk about that stuff later, but for now, let's get into the good that this game does. And trust me, there's a lot of good. First off, I gotta say, compared to Mario Kart, the gameplay itself definitely has a bit more variety and strategy. Before you even get onto the track, you get to choose your kart's settings from 2 sliders, one being speed versus acceleration, and the other being handling versus drift. Pick which one you like better, move the thing to the side if you want it more balanced, go in the middle, etc. It's very similar to the vehicle customization system in like Mario Kart 8, but in those games, it really only shows effects if you have it all the way maxed out in one way. In this game, even if your kart is a little bit off balance, oh, you're gonna feel it. But that's just before the race, so what happens when these nude wannabes put the pedal to the metal? No, nobody else got that in the Cartoon Network bumper, guys. Alright. Right off the bat, you're gonna see a little bar to the right, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you.
What is that, a Cheeto?
That's your boost meter. You press L1 and you can go really fast if you have that charged up, or if you're feeling defensive, you can use a shield bubble. You can get boost by either doing tricks in air, hitting opponents with items, drifting really long, or drafting. Speaking of items, they come in 4 varieties in this game, but there's a twist. Every item has 3 tiers of upgrades that you can level up by just going through another bubble. The higher the level, well, the more creative your vehicular homicide will be. But also, each item can be turned into a bomb if you just hold down on the square button. And of course, the higher level your item is when you place the bomb, the better the bomb will be. If we're talking item types though, we got 4 variants. Missile, electricity, boost, and sonic boom. No, get it away. The only oddball we have here is boost. See, you can only get it if you're further behind in the race, so don't expect it in first place anytime soon. This whole system injects a lot of strategy into the game and makes you really think, should I use this missile now and hit this person maybe? Or should I wait until I level it up so I can get a homing missile? Or do I wait even longer and then get a homing missile that hits every single person in front of me? Ooh, but if I hit him now, then I get a little bit of boost, and I'm really far behind. You see where I'm going here? So yeah, the mechanics of this game are pretty nice, but what good are mechanics if there's nowhere to use them? It's like having a nice pepperoni, but no pizza. I mean, what else are you gonna use a pepperoni for? Shut your f***ing mouth, thekitchen.com. So yeah, that's our transition. Let's talk about the story now. For some reason, the single player in this game is magnificent. It's lengthy, it's challenging, it's fun, and it is just oozing with creativity. Don't take that out of context. It's organized by tours, and you've got 5 of them. Each tour has a hefty amount of courses in them, and more importantly, characters. For starters, every tour has its own set of little cronies. They each have their own little distinct design, and they look cool, but they're very low-level AIs, so you're really not going to be running into them too much. So forget about face over there. You've got an elite to worry about. Elites are like your bosses of each race, and honestly, dude, these guys are so well designed. Of course, you have your less fun ones, but most of them really take the game's graffiti art style and run with it in really creative ways. It got to the point where 10-year-old me was drawing some of these characters in a little notebook in school, and I'm no artist, so if that isn't saying something about these designs, then I don't know what will. And yeah, sure, the elites do look nice, but they certainly do not treat you very nice, because let me tell you, these guys are tough sons of nudes. See, okay, there I go with that reference again. The Cartoon Network, they're called nudes. But the challenge doesn't just end with winning the race. There's also challenges.
It's the Dark Souls of kart racers.
Each course has 3 different challenges ranging in difficulty. Whether it's just placing 3rd or better in a race, hitting an elite on a certain place on the track, or not hitting a wall for an entire race. these challenges can be really tough sometimes. I'm playing on my old copy of the game, which had most of the challenges already done, but even still, I did try to do them while I was actually playing through the game once again. But yeah, some of them I just did not do because, dear God. And for every challenge you complete, you get little stuff to customize your mod or your cart or tracks that you make with, and yeah, we'll get into it later, but, you know, yeah, for now, pretty cool, pretty neat. Then, once you complete all of those challenges, you also get the grudge matches with the elites. They range from having to beat the elite and his special higher difficulty cronies, to just a one-on-one race with the elite themselves, or a race to see who can get the most style points, you know, with the drifting, drafting, spins, etc. You beat that, you get to use the elite yourself, and you get any little customizables that are used to make him. Really cool stuff. I just wish that there was a bit more variety with the grudge match types. And on top of that, you also have 5 little tokens hidden throughout every course that if you get, you can bring back to a little slot machine in the hub world, and you could unlock more stuff to customize your little guy with. And these things are tough too! Luckily, if you collect them, you can just leave and you keep them. You don't have to finish the race, you don't even have to place, you can just leave and you still have them. But still, okay, but we're talking about story, so now I'm gonna get into the actual story of the story, and not just the mechanics of the story mode. You get what I mean. So yeah, just put yourself in these shoes for a minute. This is who you are now. You are Tag, a man who finds an advertisement for the MRC, or Modnation Racing Championship. Your mother is the owner of a paint shop, and you got a little bit of a creative side because of it. I mean, look at your hair. Ooh. Your mom has a friend named the Chief who decides to take you under his wing and prepare you for the MRC. And so off you go, you're racing, but you've got an artsy side. People like Tag's style, or I guess your style, and they decide to get behind you and support you for your races. You end up doing pretty well in the races too, so much so that a guy named Uncle Richard comes up and offers you a deal. You're offered a sponsorship deal for Conservative Motors. However, Conservative Motors is for boring cars. Boring and plain and tan and dumb slow cars. And that's not what you're all about. You like art, not boring cars.
Because no one likes an artsy-fartsy softie, especially the Conservative Motors team. And by team, I mean me.
Shut up. So, no, say bye-bye to Uncle Richard. You can't focus on him either, because right now, you gotta focus on the current champion of the MRC, Espresso. He's some insane Italian dude with a monkey who attacks people. He also isn't very respectful of women.
And there you have it, Espresso, Modnation's offending champion.
I think you meant the family.
Did I?
Monchiato. Attack!
Get it off me! Get it off me!
That's silly. So yeah, you keep racing, you keep doing good, and then one day a bomb is placed under your car and it blows up while Chief is operating it, and it gets him in a wheelchair and it blows up your cart. Uh-oh, no more races. Oops, okay, never mind. Uncle Richard's back and he's got the deal still, so you sign the thing and then you can race again. But you gotta race in the boring car and in this boring suit for Uncle Richard. Ugh. You know what? I'll give Uncle Richard credit though. He does know how to make a good jingle. I mean, I like it. So yeah, eventually, Chief is back and he fixes your car and you get your old stuff back and you can be creative again, yay! So then you go back to doing well, and then you find out that the Chief used to drive and that Espresso actually put him into a career-ending crash. So then you race Espresso and win, and that's it, and then he tries to steal the trophy, but then gets tackled. Also, Uncle Richard was found out to be the one who placed the bomb underneath your car, and so he's arrested. So yeah, that's basically the story, except I forgot one very important part. These two are your commentators for the entire thing, Biff and Gary. Biff is a jock, Gary's a mama's boy, and they both hate each other, and it's great. Here's a little example of their interactions.
You really need to practice if you're going to nail the challenging Wild Run course.
I wish you could practice your commentating, Gary.
My commentating is well above par, Biff.
That's just it, Gare. Above par is a lousy score. I hope you don't do golf stats, too.
I don't understand the problem here, Biff.
On the fairway of life, Gary, you're a walking triple bogey.
And that happens the entire game, and it's really funny. So that's that. That's the story. Okay, next. You forgot forgot about the mod spot. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, fine. This is the mod spot. This is your hub world. This is where you used to look at what all the popular community creations were. They were up on these podiums. It doesn't work anymore because Sony sucks. This is also where you can go into this place and then make all your stuff. There's that. I talked about the mod spot. Are you happy? Oh, okay, good.
So yeah, all that's well and good and all, but what about the customization part? You know, what about that part that you were talking about at the beginning? What about that? You see, because I was putting this stuff, I was customizing myself. Good transition.
Okay, so here's the bad stuff or the kind of disappointing stuff about the game. For starters, I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. The load times in this game take forever. Dude, I just want to play Crazy Crater. I don't want to wait for 2 minutes. Okay, you get the point. The other disappointing aspect of the game is the creation aspect, which is kind of detrimental considering that is this game's entire marketing ploy. In regards to karts and mods, this game really doesn't have that complicated of a creator itself. And that's kind of the issue. Like, there's no shortage of options, like sticker-wise or skin-wise for your mods, but most of them are going to be only used in incredibly niche situations. And sometimes something as simple as like a square or a circle or a triangle are just really hard to get. Like, in order to make a line sticker, you need to take the square and mess with the length and width of it until it's a really thin rectangle, which I know doesn't sound bad, but in execution is kind of weird. But hey, look, at least you can make fish stick. And look, I just made the video dated before it even came out. Aren't I funny? So yeah, you can certainly do a fair amount with the mod creator, but I mean, in a lot of aspects, it just kind of is a little bit underwhelming and sometimes confusing. For karts, it's the same song and dance, except it's a little bit more so. Like, sometimes just putting something somewhere just feels a little unnatural. Like, you need to put a roof sticker on the roof section instead of just putting a sticker anywhere on the car. It's weird. But the track creator is in its own ballgame. It is the absolute worst of the three. For me, at least, this thing is so confusing. I tried it a lot back when I was a kid. I didn't get it then. I tried it once present day, but I didn't record it, and I still had no idea what I was doing. But hey, I mean, that's not to say that cool stuff can't be made with it. Back when this game allowed you to download stuff offline, I downloaded a map where you drive through a gun. And here's Gotham City, with a lot of weird template-y stuff, which is also kind of a problem. A lot of the assets that you can use for your tracks kind of feel like they were just taken from the levels in the story mode and just plopped here. So if you're trying to add your own little splash of character to the track and make it unique, you're gonna have a little bit of a tough time. But yeah, there you go. That's essentially all the bad stuff I have to say. The stuff you can make with the creator tools is pretty good. I mean, just look at all these mods that I have downloaded. Mario, there he is. So, I guess, closing thoughts. Are there any closing thoughts? I like the game's story mode a lot because the tracks are very interesting and have a lot of shortcuts, which is something Mario Kart doesn't have. Flo from Progressive is an actual paid DLC character in this game. United Front Games, the developers, also made Sleeping Dogs, and now they're out of business, meaning there will probably never be a sequel to this game, which makes me a very sad boy. And here's a Pinewood Derby car I made based off Tag's base kart in the game. So there you go.
So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this video game. I really like it. Sure, it has its problems, but we all do. Albert Einstein was pretty great, but he had a funny mustache. But yeah, because I have no other ideas of how to end this video, we're just gonna go through some of the stuff that I made back when I was a little kid in like 2010 or whatever, and see if anything looks pretty good. So here you go. Take a look. We're just gonna go through real quick.
Cocky Monster. Cool Dude. 214-8768-10 Melon. Or I'm sorry, Milan. Mr. Naked. Oh, God. Censor that. And Gulch. Okay, I'm tired. That's the end of the video.
Like and sub. Please like the video. Like and sub. And maybe even share the video.